Hello viewers, it's the Mindful Man reading another chapter from The Clinic by Paul G. Brett from Amazon KDP. He said I was to think about it. Well, I've been thinking about it and I just can't wait to tell you all my thoughts, DD. It sent quite a shudder down my thighs and up my spine when he asked me, just like when I'm playing those really low notes on my cello. It's so thrilling when I feel all that, but I suppose this is not very thrilling to think about it, is it? I know I've got to be really, really fair, he said. He said we could help some people out, those who can't have children. It would be a wonderful thing and give a lot of happiness to poor people. And why shouldn't I do as I like anyway? They're my eggs. It's a woman's right to choose, isn't it? They're only just a bit of me, aren't they? And I could perfectly well cut off my hair and give it to someone to make a wig out of, or stuff in a chair. Oh, DD, what have I said? Giggle, giggle. Can you imagine a cushion with my hair in it? It'd be a scream, a real riot, don't you think? People could sit on me all day and I wouldn't feel a thing. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, and it would help science a lot too. We must have scientists working away like dear mad Hugo, trying to make everything better for everyone. And it's silly to stop them. And everyone is managing things today. No one leaves it all to nature anymore. I'd have been a chicken farm already if I had been on the, well, you know what I mean. And these are such horrid diseases. Well, not just diseases, but horrid genes, I think they are. There's things with funny names I can't remember. One of them was called hunting or something. Anyway, we could prevent all that happening by research. Oh dear, I'm getting in such a muddle. But I just can't stop thinking he might want to introduce them to each other. Hello, Miss Eggs, I'm Mr. Sperm. Fancy a bit of... It's too awful to imagine. He'd be acting like a dating agency and doing it in his lab, and then it would be a person. I know it isn't until a sperm has gone in and done whatever he does in there. And I know it wouldn't look like one at first, but I just can't help thinking it is one. Do you remember the nuns at school showing us pictures of the tiniest babies in a womb? No, well, of course you wouldn't, but they had the most enormous heads and all their tiny fingernails, and the boys. It'd be just so disgusting to put one of them in a test tube or something, and then poke it and take things away and put things in. If that's what they do to them, I don't know. Anyways, I suppose it isn't a real person. Even if a wriggler does get in, it won't be not for the first few days anyway, though it's going to be, isn't it? I mean, in a few months it would be just like you and me. Perhaps Hugo's right. It is only cells, a blast of whatever it was, he said. Oh, darling, it's diary. What am I to do? Do you think I should say yes? Do tell me. I suppose it could be quite exciting. What worries me is how would they do it? How would they get all the eggs out? Thank you, DD, you've been such a help. I really know now what I'm going to do. I'll ask him when he gets back from work. I was so eager to ask all my questions that I couldn't sit still. I really couldn't. Every time someone walked past our house, I rushed to the window to see if it was him. I knew he was coming after work and I'd get some pasta and bolognese sauce out of a jar for us. But he finished so late sometimes, I never knew when he'd get home. It was nearly 9 when he finally appeared. You salami head, I said, you could have rung me to say when you were coming. Why didn't you? I'm sorry, Lucy, I really am, but you know how it is. I just forgot the time. I've got so much to do and it was so interesting. What was more interesting than me? No, of course not, but you've got to understand. I have to share you with my work. You wouldn't give up your rumbling cello to be with me 24 hours a day now, would you? Hope you enjoyed that chapter. Please sub me.